Hey boys and girls, welcome to tonight's flip video. It combines our stuff with the decimals and the fractions, brings them full circle. So, these are going to be all sorts of groups of people that I met. And it says which fraction or decimal of people are wearing hats. So very clearly, I can see that I'm the only one wearing a hat. There are two of us, so that's 1/2. 1/2 is one way to represent it with fractions. You can also represent that with a decimal. So half of a dollar, this is how I remember. Half of a dollar is 50 cents. And to represent 50 cents, we do 0.50. So 1/2 we can say is 0.5 because remember this 0 doesn't really matter. So that's pretty straightforward. The next one is also represented as, I like to think of it in terms of money. So we see in this painting, or this picture, we have four things. We've got me, one of my friends, one of my other friends, and a book. It says which fraction and decimal are humans. So there are four things total, like I said. And of those, 3 of them are humans. Now, 1/4, like the coin, a quarter, that is worth 0.25, 25 cents. If we have 3/4, that would be 75 cents. So 0.75. If we had 2/4, it would be 0.5, because that's equivalent to 1/2, and 3/4, or 4/4 would be 1/2. So every quarter is another 25 cents, or 25 hundredths. Moving right along, this is the group of all the different people who went through the Innovator Academy, but I'm really worried about just this circle that I have done in red. So what fraction / decimal of men? So we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 people in that section. So it's going to be our denominator. Now looking at just the men, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/10, which sounds a lot like a decimal. 6/10 is written as 0.6 because the 6, when we do a little decimal thing, the 6 is in the tenths place. So what I like to think of when I see something over 10, I know immediately that all I do is I take the numerator, just like this numerator here, I put it as a decimal point, and then after 6. So that's pretty straightforward because 6/10 is said the exact same way as fractions and decimals. And the last one we have is a group of us outside of Alcatraz, the setting of last night's video. And it says which fraction / decimals of women. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in that picture, and 4 of them are women. So 4/5. Now, 4/5 doesn't relate to money. Well, it relates kind of to nickels a little bit, but it doesn't relate to quarters or half dollars very well. So what I like to do is I like to convert this to tenths because I know 5 can go into 10. Then, like I said in the last one, we can take the tenths and turn it easily into a decimal. So 5 times 2 will give me 10. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. 4 times 2 is 10. And then simply 8/10 is written as 0.8. Kind of a shortcut you can do here. When you see a fifth, all you do is you double the numerator and you make that in the tenths place. But I like to represent it like this right here because it is pretty easy to do that, and it reinforces what we know about fractions. Which brings us to our bring back to school problem, and it's okay if you need to rewind. We didn't have a together problem, so probably a good time to rewind. So you bring back to school problem. I've given you 4 fractions or decimals, and if it's a fraction, I want it in decimal. If I want it in a decimal, I want it in a fraction. So we've got 1/2. I would like that in a decimal. We've got 0.25. I would like that in a fraction. We've got 0.3. I would like that in a fraction. And we've got 2/5. I would like that in a decimal. So you've got 4 mini problems to do to make one big problem. Bring it back to school. rewind the video if you need to, and I'll see you in the morning.